So I want to discuss how the Derek Carr signing with the Saints earlier today, how I think it sort of impacts the Packers and their current situation with Aaron Rodgers, because I do think it has somewhat of an impact when you just look at the market and different teams who need quarterbacks. And after that signing, I was sort of debating in my head, okay, how does this actually impact the Packers? Of course, it comes down to, will the Packers keep Rodgers or trade Rodgers? We all know this. Maybe we'll get an answer in the next week, most likely. But I think when you look at different teams who could potentially be in the market for Rodgers, the New York Jets have seemed like one of the leading ones, and the Las Vegas Raiders have also seemed like one of the leading teams. They did come out a couple weeks ago, and apparently the Raiders supposedly aren't really wanting to pursue Rodgers. But for whatever reason, the sports books didn't believe this. They had the Raiders for the past week or so still sitting as a favorite to land Rodgers if he is traded. And so because GMs and coaches say things, we can't always, take their word exactly. Because things change and they may not want to give all their, give their hand that they're playing out to the public. So right now, the fact that Derek Carr did sign with the Saints means that the two teams who I think are the top teams to land Rodgers, the Jets and the Raiders, still could be trying to land Rodgers. So if Rodgers does decide he wants to leave Green Bay, and if the Packers and Rodgers come to the agreement to trade him, it's better, of course, if there's more than one team interested, because they may have to bid against each other, which will increase whatever the Packers will get in return for a trade for Aaron Rodgers. So luckily, I'm excited that Carr didn't sign with the Jets, because with him signing with the Saints, there was no chance, I don't think, that the Saints were going to, try to trade for Aaron Rodgers. That didn't seem like that was ever a possibility, really. And so luckily, the Jets are still open and the Raiders are still open. So they could have to bid against each other if they actually have a desire to trade for Rodgers. And so if, let's say, Carr were to sign with the Jets, and maybe the Raiders are the only team that really is going to try for Rodgers, if they are, we don't know. They may be able to get away with giving a little bit less, but if they're bidding against the Jets may have to, put some more stuff on the table to really get Rodgers if they really, really want to have him there. So I think that's a basic impact of this Derek Carr signing. And of course, we have I'm pretty sure by tomorrow, teams have to decide based on they have to decide the franchise tag, and Lamar Jackson could potentially get franchise tagged. I think that if he does get tagged, I think there's an exclusive and a non-exclusive tag. One of them, a team is willing to try to, pick up Jackson, and if the Ravens don't match the offer, they get 2 first-round picks. So if they do tag him in the way where a team can try to match it, I think that's the non-exclusive tag, if I'm remembering properly. A team would have to be willing to give up 2 firsts to do that. So you'll probably get Aaron Rodgers for maybe a little cheaper. I'd say at least a first-round pick, probably a little bit more. But I think that it's positive news for the Packers if Rodgers does get traded, that the Jets and the Raiders are still on the table. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. I'll try to give some more update videos if any other, quarterback dominoes fall, and sort of how that could affect the Packers and everything going forward. But we will hopefully see what the Packers and Rodgers decide in the next week. Maybe it'll happen super soon. We don't know. Maybe in the next couple of days. But I for one, however you say that properly and, grammarly, whatever that is, I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, because as all of us Packers fans, it's just been like for the past few months, we've just been sitting here wondering what's going to happen. And it's been fun to sort of contemplate and predict where everything's going to lead. But we should have a pretty solid answer in the next week, which I'm excited about. It'll give us a better idea of, what the Packers are doing going forward. What's the quarterback situation? Is it Jordan Love? Is it Aaron Rodgers? What's the future look like? We will hopefully have some answers soon. So I'll keep you guys updated. So feel free to subscribe, because if you're not subscribed, this channel is for solely Packers content, Packers news, all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.